5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Time.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Yeehaw!
10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Yeehaw!
10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Yeehaw!
10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. Radiant team seconds remaining. Dire team ban. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team ban.
Yeehaw!
10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. 10 seconds remaining. Radiant team seconds remaining. Dire team ban. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team ban.
Yeehaw!
10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. 10 seconds remaining. Radiant team seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Void incarnate. Ten seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Quick.
Dire team ban.
Beastmaster.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds Dire remaining. Team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Juggernaut.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ranger at
You
your
may now
service.
select your heroes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, to pick someone.
Prepare for
We're
battle.
fucked and we're getting ourselves ready for game one. That's just about to kick off. In fact, it's starting right now between Mudgolems and Cyber Legacy. Fog, we just had the draft. Yeah, what do you reckon? What's sort of jumping out at you? Is looking pretty hot or looking pretty not?
Definitely looking just hot. I guess just the interesting 5-position Viper. Something like they said, it's been played a bit in the past. I think it's something that's actually underused. I think it's actually something that's pretty good. I've seen a couple people doing in their pubs like these, you know, hero spammers and stuff like that, just these non-stop mangos, and it applies a lot of pressure. So that's the most interesting thing, I guess, for me in this game. Besides like these little, you know, we have Phoenix versus Snapfire again, so we have that interaction always going to be happening inside of the game.
And Viper, you know, it's going to be that great hero with the break against the Spectre. But yeah, just interesting to see how much he's going to be able to do with it from that support position. Doesn't get an early ward down in the lane.
So they're actually doing the Viper as the 4. It looks like, though. I actually would have. I think I would have preferred.
Yeah.
I know. I'm saying I would have preferred as a 5, not the 4.
Oh,
and having the snap as the 4.
And having the snap. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm wondering what the. I get both sides do give decent kill threat. On the lane, I just feel like a Viper would be more annoying for the Void Spirit Rubik than a Snapfire is. I feel like this is a little bit weaker in the lane, where I would like the Jug to have his strongest kind of combo together. Either way, should be pretty solid anyway versus that Void Spirit. 33 is going to play pretty defensively with his Dissimulate.
Oh, interesting to see if this work out for Cyber Legacy. These sort of setups. The mid lane matchup's going to have Borneo on his Wind Ranger against the magical Tiny. Yeah, in this one. I mean, I imagine we should see magical. I mean, it depends, right? I mean, who do you sort of favour in this matchup? Is Wind Ranger able to do enough being arranged, or is it too hard to contest with the hard hits of sort of Tiny's right click?
The Wind Ranger ends up harassing a little bit more, so Tiny has to spend the more money on regen, but Tiny's able to get like pretty even, if not a little bit more, like denies and stuff like that. I'd say it's kind of even. Maybe Wind Ranger comes out slightly ahead, depending on harassment.
And then so. In terms of sort of kill threat in the lane, what you would sort of say this top lane from Dire has quite a bit there able to catch the Rubik, got these two heroes.
Yep, they should have a pretty good amount of kill threat. Not saying that the Rubik Void Spirit lane is very weak either. That's the thing, is that Void Spirit is kind of tanky, and they will always be able to harass Juggernaut, who is he's this weird laner. Like, he's not really that strong, but he just poses kill threat sometimes. The Rubik can die, the Void Spirit, I'd say I wouldn't expect 33 to go down up here.
Sure. In terms of sort of comparisons between the two safe laners, I mean, who is going to have the harder time? Skeeter down on the bottom lane, Spectre, or Kuman up top on the Jug?
I would be Skeeter, yeah. He did prepare for it though. He did start with double ring of regen, so he's prepared for all this harassment, so he's gonna be able to tank through it anyway. But it is a strong lane, this Beastmaster Viper. Once they get like to level 3, this level 3 really kicks off the lane. Level 2 Boar plus level 2 Poison attack. That's where I have to actually be a little bit more careful because Phoenix is not the strongest 5 position.
Now we'll see how much space he can secure for the Spectre. And see for the builds, him out. It's pretty much been the common place build up now for Spectres. Now, even regardless of what you do want to go after, if you do want to try and go for the Blade Manager the Radiance, or feel that there isn't going to be space and time to do so this game. I mean, in terms of the progression for the 2 carries, is there a certain timing that one team is going to be a lot stronger playing towards?
I mean, Cyber Legacy better, better like be the ones really being the aggressors in this game. Because I look at their draft, you have Jug, a Beastmaster, Tiny Cores. You want to be super active in this mid game. You do not want this to slow down. So I would hope that would be Cyber Legacy with the way that they've drafted. Because it's literally all mid game. Every single one of their heroes is just like this mid game dominator. Not a crazy team fight coming into play though.
No, not really at all. I mean, I guess for Mudgolems, they do have the Supernova and the Horn. And they do have 3 heroes around that have disabled, right? You've got the Shackle, the Remnant, the Lift. So a lot of good ways to really control the fight underneath the egg if they can get a good placement from Barca.
Meal on top. This is the cookie. Are they going to be able to find him?
So with that Blade Fury, a little bit of a block there for 33 isn't enough. Cyber Legacy are still able to make their way around the Vorpal Spirit, finish off Meldan.
Very nicely done. Whenever you're able to actually get kills in a jug lane, that's when it's like, okay, this is a pretty decent jug lane. If you're not getting kills, I feel like whenever I see just like static jug lanes, it's like, this is a terrible jug lane. So that's always a good sign. Milov goes big to fill up warning his bottle too, so it's just going to be 33 left all along. So Kumen, got to be very happy this series at least, or this first game of the series. Magical. 3 heroes on.
Set up edge, let's get the toss back. Down back into the river, and nothing else really to throw out at Magical, so Magical will be fine. Still got a bit of regen on as well, a couple of tangos and a fairy fire. Of course, around this 5 minutes, we expect to see him back up and try and get that rune from his own half of the map in the triangle.
Yeah, pretty dead even actually in mid lane, so.
Yeah, and imagine both of these heroes as well are going to be sort of played similarly, right? In the sense they're going to be killers.
Yes.
Their first item, these heroes, they're going to be making the rotations. Who do you think sort of got the easier targets? Who's going to be able to have that bigger when it does come to the mid game?
I mean, Tiny has much easier targets to straight up go for. The Wind Ranger he's versus something like a Jug, so it's always going to be a little bit harder, but he's off to a good start, so.
Take that.
Power Shots does have its merits. Very strong early on. But I'd imagine that Mudgolems are going to be a little bit more on the, they're much more on the passive side of this game. Just, they really want to be the ones forcing the issue. They want to be the ones kind of responding.
Yeah, if they're able to sort of just sit back, at least not sort of get held up in the base, allow Skeeter to push out and find farms this Spectre. It's going to be big. I mean, at late game, they do still have that break. Like that break from the Viper's always going to be an issue for Skeeter, but yeah, you would imagine if it does go late, he's going to have items against that. He's going to be able to get out of it. Maybe he goes the route of the BKB later on if he feels it's too hard to deal with.
The thing is too that it's it's not the same as it was in the past. Of course, this was a change that happened a long time ago, but it's got a pretty long cooldown, and it is a support this time. So he just dies. If he just gets popped in the beginning of the fight, there is no break, right? So he's going to be a lot more fragile. So Slayer has to be very aware of his positioning inside of these. So if he just dies, there's no break, and then Spectre does not look as countered as he actually is in this draft.
Move there onto Slayer. CPR will save him. He'll stay to the lane though. He's got the salve, so we'll be healing up. And overall, in terms of pressure on the cause, it is just Skeeter that's a little bit behind, but only very, very, very hardly. I mean, you look at everybody else, it's an incredibly close opening to this game. Nobody else is really feeling anything at all in this lane. So all cores are getting the ability to farm.
Oh, we're going for Skeeter bottom. The cookie onto the creep, though. It was not facing him. And Borninghead, he's here for the counter gank.
I see what sort of setup he can get. He's going to run down Slayer with the focus fire. Goes for the easy one. Goes for the support. very, very easily, of course, with that double damage. And with that as well, just a few hundred away off the Javelin on Wind Ranger. Milan also around in the mid lane to pick up some of the XP, whilst Boronier is elsewhere.
I'd say a slight win in the laning phase here for Mudgolems.
Yeah.
I think that the Void Spirit just getting so much up top is pretty huge for me, right? Like, he's up to 38 last hits, almost level 6. He has a piece of his Ags component already. That's huge. This Ags can really break a lot of that too, because let's say the Viper doesn't die in the fights. Now, if they do get an early Aghanims, 33 can just mess with the entire fights. He just jumps in and just chain silences, and then they actually can get all their abilities off.
Yeah, absolutely. And against the lineup that doesn't have any sort of self-dispel, no sort of saves, yeah, the silence is going to be incredibly disruptive.
Especially versus a hero like, yeah, especially versus a hero like Jug. Like, this hero needs to get a Manta style now pretty early on, because like, this Aghanims is gonna come at a very early time now for 33.
For sure, when he's doing this brown boot Sags rush, and also just having the silence to protect some of their team fight elements. Right? If he's able to get the silence on Bignum, when Bignum does start to have poison little shredder, suddenly that Supernova's not going to be guaranteed to go down every fight.
Wording it this time though. Might get ran down, does not have the win run, has to go.
Got in a couple of seconds, but you're right with that avalanche. Yeah, they've got him. Able to get him with that final throw of the tree. Can't win run. They're diving in on Skeeter with that cookie forward. He's getting low. They'll turn with the little shredder. Skeeter will pull, but able to dive and get the kill on him. And also finding partner. Kuman, he's joined the pressure down bottom. They clean up the 2 kills. And with 3 heroes off the map, they're going to get some good space to push it onto this onto this bottom tier 1 tower.
Very nice.
This is exactly what you wanted to see from this lineup of Cyber Legacy. They've got to be making these moves, and that couldn't have gone any better. Tower down, 8 minutes in.
I love that they do it around the book 1 timing. It's not usually a timing that you might be like, oh, you know, the book 1, it's going to come and they're going to... No, it actually ends up working really well versus that Spectre, and even versus the Phoenix, who is killing off one of the books and dies. Yeah, and now they have these deep aggressive wards with that tower take, and also Kuman will be playing around the bottom side toward mid, and I think they just filter toward mid. You have 40 seconds till roar. I think Blizzy just do some neutral camps and just get ready to make your rotation over toward that mid tower. Maybe wait for your book 2 if you want to, for that one to be delivered.
Top tower is under attack.
But yeah, I think they can continue applying this pressure here for sure. Mudgolems, though, I do think that this time around they're going to react.
Yes, for sure. I mean, in terms of TP status, they've all got TPs ready to go, ready to get over.
Radiant are scanning.
If anything does happen too close to the tower, not playing Milan. Cloaked, Slayer hiding underneath the tier 1, a little bit too risky for them to dive upon. They are aware that each other is within this jungle down bottom.
They want him.
I mean, they're going to continue to hunt for Slayer. They're just going to use Dawn as well. Not leave Slayer any sort of chance to hide away in the trees. Get Skeeter involved in some action. Now they themselves could try to start pushing onto this tier 1. Of course, they don't have anywhere near the same amount of tower pressure that Cyber Legacy do this early on, though.
Yeah.
So tower pushing comes at a lot slower pace for Mudgolems at this stage.
Big fan of that haunt, though. Like, just using it now at this point early on to get him involved and just you scout things out, right? You get to see, okay, they're leaving our jungle. You get to see where everybody is when they're setting up there. Magical, looking for Borning here, but he's got the raindrop.
Not enough burst to kill him straight off. Now Boronier is going to try and turn a little bit with the fight. Magical has the haste read.
He's scouted
going to run back in onto Boronier. The Wind Ranger's got to be a little bit careful. They're starting to bottle up.
Magical stagger all of these stacks.
Radiant's
so
they're able to make a big movement over it. They can definitely have a good shot of contesting this Cyber Legacy. They're going to burst up to the pressure onto the tower mid. They know that there's no horn, still for 2 minutes, so a good timing for them to try and push up. Combo comes in onto 33, isn't enough to kill him off, he's fine. And one of his kisses is actually being laid down as he's looking for Boronier. One more hit, won't get it, it's not quite there. Boronier is able to dodge it, will hit. The Cyber Legacy, 11 minutes in, another objective off their tick list. They've found a second tier 1 tower, and as you said, the info there as well, there is a bit of an ancient stack going on. Just continuing to play at a pace that the Mudgolems are certainly feeling at this stage.
Yeah, I actually don't want to see Blizzy running down bottom right now. I guess he has a TP, maybe he's going to TP up toward top. I thought that he would just go for top tower too, because they didn't have to use Roar to take the mid tower, so I thought that they were just going to keep the ball rolling, but...
Also,
wanted to slow it down a little.
I mean, we definitely sort of could feel how Cyber Legacy want to approach this game. I mean, how do you sort of feel about what Kuman's got queued up? He's gone for the Asher, of course, but is going to go back for the Battle Fury. How does that sort of work out for this team if they do want to try and end it quickly? Like what is it the Battle Fury is going to offer him that isn't going to sort of show that maybe they actually are happy taking it late and playing the farm game?
I think the one thing he is thinking is it is a 4 protect 1 still. Like if things, this is like your just in case, you know, just in case things go wrong, just in case you get to a point where sure you are pushing every lane, you are getting involved as Kuman, you actually have a little bit of a window for the late game.
We'll see what sort of timing he's able to hit on that. I mean, if they're able to keep up the rate that they're taking down these tier 1 towers, gonna have the money at pretty good time. Down bottom again, just trying to get inside Mudgolem's jungle, take away this area from them as much as they can. Blizzy very, very close, just 50 gold away from having the level 3 necro book.
Yeah, it's super early. Gonna give all the space in the world for Kuman and just keep farming. As they always have Hawks down, they always have Wards down too with this early tower pressure that they've done. Aghanims is, I believe, finished 33. Looks like it is coming out in the career, so maybe this is when they do want to look to try to fight something. But like we said, Mudgolems, this isn't a game where they're rushing. They're just sitting back. They just want to farm.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the best thing for them to do, no doubt about it, because if they do start actively hunting for action against Cyber Legacy will happily fight them, because the strengths that Cyber Legacy have. So we've seen this very early level 3 necro book on Blizzy. Magical has got his blink done. He's also got a DD rune in the
They're
ball.
gonna force it.
Whoever they find here is almost certainly going to get popped. Fada hiding in the trees. The Hawk is out. They know that he's there. Magical in with the combo, and Fada does still manage to dive away there. Kuman not able to actually get a hit.
Magical didn't throw his tree right away.
Still getting it. They do manage to still find him. Borony is going to try and turn the focus fire off Kuman. Healing wards out. In fact, Kuman needs to get. He's trying to TP out. He's doing the taunt. It does still have the Omni Cycle. If he can get the ult off, he's still going to be silent. We'll take him on 6. 33's able to come in, control the jug, stop Kuman from being able to get that Omni Slash off.
Huh. Quite a big mistake there. I mean, he mistimed his spin TP and just died because of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a panic Blade Fury, right? You're getting focus fired by a Wind Ranger. Blade Fury's not really going to do anything. In fact, it's just going to hinder you. It stops you from being able to get the Omni Slash.
They're chasing out. They have everybody alive.
Cookie forward there by the stolen cookies on top of Blizzy. Blizzy's used the rock to try and save himself, but it's not going to keep him alive. They surround him. Blizzy
And 33 gets picked him.
Private Legacy, they cannot afford these mess-ups. They need to keep things going well early on. These sort of moves where Spec as well, you know, Skeeter's hanging around, just soaking up that XP and gold, while Cyber Legacy's play just falls flat on his face.
That
That's
looks
the
like it
risk.
was a situation where they might just be able to, if they just played and pushed the tower normally, if they just were able to just do it as a normal setup with the book 3 with the healing ward, maybe they were able to just get the tier 2 there, or at least get a majority of damage on it. They got like 0 damage on it because of the way they actually approach that. Super costly for them.
Every coin helps.
No, that's for sure. I think they just, I think Kuma's just caught straight by surprise. I mean, that was a situation as well. Was on his own, and Kuma did have Omni Slash, and that's the sort of case. If he'd able to just run, close the gap, and use the Omni, it would have done a lot more than that Blade Fury attempt that Kuma went for to try and keep himself safe.
Bounty.
Still holding the lead, Cyber Legacy.
Can't make too many of those slip-ups, though. That's the exact thing that we're talking about how Mudgolems is just, they're sitting back waiting for those mistakes, because a couple of those, and they know that this game's in the bag. The Spectre will eventually become the hardest carry.
Golems. I mean, again, we're seeing these situations where they do get over onto Cyber Legacy's half of the map, but as you said, they're just much happier playing responsive rather than actually trying to push for objectives like the tier 1s out top there. As long as they can sort of keep their tier 2s up and hold their half of the map, they're going to be in a good position, my Golems, to
Radiant's bottom tower is
coming
under
out of the
attack.
laning stage a few thousand gold behind Cyber Legacy.
Yeah, I mean, they're just holding back. 2k behind is, I think that's perfectly fine. Only 2
Radiant's
towers
top
dead too,
tower
with a
is under
Spectre
attack.
draft versus a Beastmaster Jug. Like I think the Cyber Legacy needs to start taking that pace up, and they are still all sitting around bottom. They're not backing up and farming. They're at least still trying to apply that pressure, which I do like.
Looking towards this tier 2 tower that
good vision.
It will almost certainly be attempted to be defended by mudgolems. As far as it's got Supernova, Horns back up in 10 seconds. So mudgolems see a chance to get in on the magical. He's going to be quick to jump.
Got Fada.
Excellent. No Phoenix, no Supernova. You can be pretty sure that they're not going to try to hold the tier 2. Slayer's going pretty deep here, running them down right back up to the high ground, but it will work. Give space for Cyber Legacy to push onto this tier 2 tower. And that's probably the perfect jump at this point of the game from Magical. If you can just take the Phoenix out, it's very likely that mudgolems aren't going to try and team fight Cyber Legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's literally the best target thing. The only hope there is that he doesn't have buyback, because I think if Fada has buyback, they might actually just be able to fight under that anyway. But with the Veil and everything, they burst him too fast, no buyback. Good pressure play by
kill mid as well. Magical. Ooh, okay. Not able to get the jump in time there. Gets caught by the PayPal. Actually does still get it after the blink comes back available again. And looks like they will still find the last. The persistence. Trying to strike back. Shackle's shot from Boron here, but the remnants off the mark. The two of them nowhere near enough damage to fight into Magical and Slayer.
He's roared. Looking pretty
enough damage. There is. Lizzie, a very nice catch to be found. As we can see with the wards as well from Cyber Legacy, they have managed to fully take over the whole jungle really of mudgolems, allowing Blizzy to be able to move in and get these sort of kills. His farm continues to look great. The Flats is going to be online pretty soon after the Necro 3, so again, just building up to this point where they can run down lanes with the Jug. And as we see there in the gold as well, those last few kills have put Cyber Legacy back on the track that they need to be able to close this game up. Yeah,
and Kuman's off to a good, pretty decent timing for that Battle Fury after the Yasha. He's got one more component till it's done.
Yep.
So he's keeping that farm consistent. And they're still applying pressure with the three, like all three lanes are being pressured. Viper showing in one, Beastmaster showing bottom, and then mid also being pressured out. So yeah, all boxes being ticked here for Cyber Legacy.
Yeah, if they can get the Battle Fury and then sort of whichever item Kuman wants to farm up quickly with that, I feel like that's going to be the time where they're going to be incredibly strong. Because Spectre's probably still not got her first big item done after the Manta at that stage. And you know, if you're running down lanes with cleave and a damage item on this Jug, the Omni Slashers are going to destroy some of this squishier heroes of mudgolems.
Absolutely. Cyber Legacy all setting up down bottom here. They have vision, so they saw Fada and Milan.
Top tower is under attack.
And they still don't get. That's a full duration ward that lasted there from Cyber Legacy. That's.
He's in there, straight in onto Skeeter. Skeeter needs help, but he needs it now. He's getting comboed up, getting low. Will manage to get out of the poison. Looking onto the Necro, but not actually going the correct way towards Skeeter. So Skeeter's able to live. 33 out of the jump as he's been hit by the Viper Strike from Slayer.
Stolen healing ward. That's going to reset the whole fight here.
Oh, but there's the jump match. Optics in for the avalanche, catching the two of them. Oh, you go for the... all that, the sort of the taunt TP. It just... jumps in, kills off Fada, and says, see ya. Just kidding. Cancels this TP. He's sticking around. Healing wards out, but he's trying to finish off Slapper. Just getting the stand on the return. He's got the Omni Slash. It's coming in big. Skeeter getting low, but so is Magical. So it's Blizzy. Skeeter, he's lived throughout the burst of damage. The dagger off the mark doesn't hit up to Blizzy. Skeeter goes down. Blizzy's starting to work. Morini is trying to chase. The Horn's going to be there. Double buybacks coming out from mudgolems will allow them to clean up. 4 dead on Cyber Legacy. mudgolems able to fight back. It does cost them the 2 buybacks, and of course the most important one costing 5 buybacks. So will slow down his gold, but the X worth is... I mean, would you say it's worth that in that situation? You're happy buying back for the levels you're getting from the cleanup?
Yeah, I think those buybacks are definitely worth it. The only reason it ends up being okay for Cyber Legacy is because Kuman gets out and...
oh, look at this! Beautiful! Beyblades! Here we go! Kuman! Looks like he's gonna have to pull harder on this next Beyblade. Might have enough damage. That Beyblade.
They were like right after my age.
No,
they came out, like,
you
right
missed
after.
it.
I did the
Pogs.
Pogs. We did Pogs, and then Beyblades came out like right afterwards, and everyone was in on the Beyblades.
Were they the ones you get in the crisp packets or chip packets?
Every coin helps.
I don't know. I don't remember really. I think we did.
Lizzie. Yep. And the Beast. Over.
Egg is available, but no haunt. They scouted out with that powered shot, but it's dying fast.
I mean, they've got good methods of stealing. They can win run in, they can astral step in. They've got the daggers.
33's gonna go for it for sure.
He's going to time it. He's going to jump but there's the avalanche. The walls out as well. Kuman's able to get the kill and the Aegis. Cyber Legacy get both of them from Roshan. Ornia, to focus fire onto nothing, really, is he going to turn with the shackle shot, but he's got to run. No damage has been done. Hit the members of Cyber Legacy as they're able to step out of the pit, full HP. And despite the commitment there from mudgolems, they're not able to stop Cyber Legacy getting what they want.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're doing a really good job with their draft. Exactly like everything they need to do. Just keep this lead consistent. I'd like them to be a little bit more ahead, but everything is still just fine here. All these items building up here. Slayer, he's got Valen and Atos, so he's always going to have that that lockdown to address Skeeter. The Skeeter does have the Manta now. This Viper is always going to be a big nuisance, and Kuman is extremely farmed. He's actually not going to be going for Manta, he's going for S and Y. He's just going full green.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Well, there is the silence.
The silences are annoying.
Pulse, but that's probably kind of it, right? That you look to Manta off. There's not really anything else that Manta's super important against.
It's a low duration. It's a low duration silencer, right? It's 2 seconds, I believe. So the status assist and everything.
Yeah,
sure.
Dire's top tower.
It's all good. Up to that 5k gold lead. Kuman maybe looking for Milan here. Can't quite get the kill. Yeah, looking really good for them right now.
Yeah. And as you said, with the farm that this Viper's got, I think Slayer's going to be pretty happy with what he's been able to achieve so far this game in sort of farm.
Yeah, and I've actually liked this matchup a bit, like the jump to the Spectre. In the past, I didn't really, but then when I saw, we got to see that game from WePlay where Nico Baby versus, I think it was Arteezy, where he was playing the Jug versus Spectre, and the Jug just ends up dominating the Spectre in the later stages. This matchup is actually interesting because of how Omni and your Swift Slash works. You don't have to worry about dispersion at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if it gets to the point where Kuman gets Ags, it's such an excellent aghanims. I mean, it's essentially, it lasts less than an Omni Slash, but at the end of the day, you've got to imagine, your normal Omni Slash gets late, never really lasts the full duration. Someone's going to break it. So it's effectively, it is your ultimate. It doesn't matter that it doesn't have the potential to go longer, because normally just that quick burst is more than enough to just do insane amounts of damage.
Yeah. Look how farmed he is. Yeah, this Battle Fury 100% build working for him this game.
Dire's bottom tower.
Yes, it's really good timings. And you're just going to go straight for the Axe after it.
Structures are fortified.
After this S&Y Battle Fury.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I saw he was debating about the Basher. I'm glad that he's actually just committed for the Sagadins, because I think this is their timing. I think that they can actually just look to really solidify their win in this game in the next few moments.
This is where you start taking some of the base.
Yep.
So I mean, in terms of the farmer Skeeter, he's got the Blade Mail and the first ulti orb with the Skadi, but of course not the full Skadi. That's still a while away. So definitely still at a point in this game where the timings for Cyber Legacy have been hit a little better than that of the Specs lineup. Mudgolems need to hold this game off for a little longer if they want Skeeter to really have power as the carry. Cyber Legacy, again, just
staying aggressive.
Control here, deep on Mudgolem's half of the map, making it very hard for Mudgolem to have places to safely farm. Quick duke of the shackle shot there from Magical. Farm, very close to completing another item. BKB, just half a recipe away.
It just feels hard for the Wind Ranger to look good at all. This is one of those games where it's like this death boss coming to the boarding. He's just a power shot in most situations. Even though he's 4-1 and 2, it's like he's having a good game, but the way that the lineup works, just Cyber Legacy's group up, makes Wind Ranger just not look like she's contributing too much right now. It really just feels like you're gonna be like this kind of control here for Skeeter, and just hope that Skeeter just gets all the farm on the map.
They need that Skadi done before the next fight.
Yeah.
Really, otherwise it's just going to feel a little underwhelming from the Spectre.
It's so scary for them because like they lost a lot of map control in these last few moments, and they just have like no vision because this book 3 just goes out taking all their wards. There's just the one ward they have on that bottom side. Just got to play much more careful than they'd like to.
A magical. And so you can get the catch on the Barney up straight away with the combo, but the kiss is a little slow there from Big Nub. I mean, the Barney is able to run away. Quite able to get connection with any of those hits.
Oh, Skeeter. They spot him.
He's
Slayer's around here too.
He's got to run up with the 8 off.
Manta's on CD.
Avalanche down as well, but they're a little scared. They know that the rest of the team is going to be immediately running towards him, so they don't want to actually push it a little more. Because they didn't quite have Blizzy close enough, and there's, even without the completed Scotty, he's pretty tanky, of course, level 18.
He didn't have. I think they might have. He did not have Manta. They saw the Manta wave. The Manta's used top. Like if he just gets the break on him, a toss back into an ult and a break. I think. I mean, either way, they were a little bit afraid because they do have all that vision, but
yeah,
that was very scary.
Maybe as well. I mean, his buyback's not ready. It's back in 40 seconds. But if they weren't keeping track of the timing perfectly, they could be a little aware of going all in on the Spectre. Boom, buyback, horn, and then, you know, I guess there is the reason to be a little scared of that sort of play coming in and cleaning you up.
Yeah, I mean, they maybe just don't want to risk, right? Like, they're very comfortable anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, Big Arm's done again. Well, Ags finished on Kuman.
Yep. BKB, I think, done on Magical pretty much. They almost had their Ags on Bignum also on the Snapfire. So all of them feeling real solid. 7k gold lead. That's on XP. XP is pretty much even. In this game, it's like 2k advantage for Cyber Legacy. So that's still on the side for mudgolems.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? You're playing a lineup with Spectre, you're more likely to be playing in sort of formations where you are split up. Spectre's always able to join you, whereas Cyber Legacy have been making moves as 5, sticking together.
Fanta looked like he maybe wanted to kick off a fight around that area there, because they saw the Beastmaster top for a second. He had no way to actually get toward the mid, but rest of Cyber Legacy, they make it in time.
They're charging in here. Kuman is looking for action. Probably able to find it. Fighters starting to step back over. They'll be a little careful on the edge of the fight. Lizzie or Magical's able to get a jump. We'll find him. There up on the higher ground.
Skeeter has the Scotty done once he goes and purchases it.
Oh, and then what are you sort of getting after Scotty? Do you think you have to go Abyssal for the lockdown on the jug?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That's a good question.
Because he's got to do a lot this Spectre. Like, we talked about, if it does go late, it's going to be on Skeeter's shoulders to carry. But he's got to do a lot. He has to be able to kill this jug, this tiny. You know, pretty beefy heroes, and elusive as well between the Blade Furies and the Swift Slashes.
Dire's bottom
I think Abyssal does sound like the better option, because like Butterfly you don't want to go because you have Wind Ranger, and maybe he's already a natural build-up. Yeah, that's true.
He's out with the TP, they might be able to find him. Bottom
Milan.
He's trying and he's out. Swift Slash and the Blade Fury won't quite do it.
I can't believe he survives the Swift Slash like that, right? It's an Orbit Destruction Swift Slash at this time.
Did he use, I guess he just must not have got too many crits in that.
Yeah.
Did he use any at all? I don't know. Maybe he just got the one.
Oh, you know, it's the Ring of Aquila. It's because he has the Ring of Aquila on Milan.
Just a bit of armor.
A little bit of armor.
Difference.
Magical, very deep and aggressive, looking for Barney with the Dwarf here. He's getting turned out.
Coming in with a BKB, but this focus fire, it's going to kill him.
He's just dead.
And now they're going to just chase for more. Blizzy, he's been jumped upon by 33 skiers on him as well. Going to lose Blizzy also. I even had to sort of adjust my vision now. I was like, what do you mean Magical's in there? Surely not. He was in there. What was he doing?
I actually have no idea. He was alone with a full vision. He saw everything.
And he
knew exactly wherever it is, and he went in. And it's a BKB
he did have vision. There's no way.
He did. He had full.
I mean, was he close to bursting Barnier?
No, Barnier was patient. He could have just beat early. That was insane by Magical. That's like,
I mean, if they move Roshan and everyone, Slayer, he's too far forward. Slayer's gone. They can't afford those sort of plays. You know, when you are playing this lineup that needs to be ahead and needs to keep going early, you make that sort of mistake, that one misplay from Magical, resulting in a complete disaster for Cyber Legacy as a whole. As now mudgolems, they've got themselves the Aegis on Spectre.
that's a game. I think that's just a game-losing mistake.
I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for Cyber Legacy. I'd say if that happens again, but maybe already just with it happening the once.
I have to I'm just because he could have just BKB TP2 in the midst of it all, right?
Yeah.
He could have just
Well,
TP.
he did BKB, but he was getting focus fire. So,
But he could just TP.
yeah, but I mean, either way, he did it too late. I think he was already too late.
Yeah, I guess it was too late. I mean, either way, it's a massive mistake by Vandal, but it was a decision he made.
That's all. They're coming out. Kuman, they pulled him on the Tory's dead. They're going to turn it right onto Barania. Blizzy coming in with a BKB, but they're back up to the wall. It's then on to save a supernova. Instead of hits over the two of them. Train as well. Over to the side. Also, in a whole lot of trouble by Elizabeth. He's going to be able to put the BKB try and run. He's been gobbled up at the Yule. It's going to leave no time for Bignum to shoot him out. And now Bignum goes down. Magical. He is dead as well. And my goodness, I would not want to be on the comms of Cyber Legacy right now.
Well,
This is, you can't help but imagine it's got to be
killed.
as this game is. They're sure they're only 1k down, but the fashion that it's turned around in has got to feel terrible for Cyber Legacy.
That they're against too. Like now, Spectre is just king. Spectre's king. Your Jug doesn't have a way to remove silence, so in all those situations, he's just gonna die because he went for SY. The whole game is just completely turned. This is actually now just
Dyer's
massively in
middle
favor for
tower is under
golems.
attack.
I mean, just that, as you said, the fact that they had that pick off on Magical and then the
Dyer's top tower
Broche,
is under
you're
attack.
already just seeing sort of the subsequent fights that are occurring are just so much easier for Mudgolems compared to what we've seen them be able to pull out before. And it really is down to just the nature of the heroes and the items that they're now getting out. Skeeter, he's less than 1,000 gold away, well, just about 1,000 gold away from having a butterfly on top of this shard.
Jesus. Yeah, now he literally just got a full butterfly in the last like 3-4 minutes. I mean, it's so massive because it looks like a subsequent of mistakes because we were like, oh, S and Y on Kuman might end up being fine, but because of all these constant mistakes that happen, he's super behind on his item choice. And now he has no way to remove silence, and now they're just getting picked off all over the map. This is...
And he's already committed for this MKB with a Demon Edge, so he's not going to be able to do anything against the silence at all. And is anyone building a Lotus or anything to protect him?
Dyer's
No,
top tower
I mean,
is
Greaves
under
eventually is
attack.
going to be coming out from Bignum. Nothing really else to say that they did. I mean, as you said, they went all in with the draft in terms of
Dyer's
trying
middle tower
to
is
play the
under
game
attack.
fast, and they did to point also kind of go all in with the items.
Yeah.
The
They just can't make...
element of it was the battle fury to farm, but down bottom, opportunities there. They jump on Blizzy, quickly move over to Bignum. They're just falling apart now.
Yeah.
Dyer's middle tower is under
That's
attack.
33. He's toying with Magical. Magical, very deep though. I don't know if they can really get because they're going to try for it. I mean, Magical has to put the BKB raw down. Again, another use for Stormwall Primal, and the healing ward is keeping the tiny safe, but Magical's BKB is about to wear off. Steven's diving. He has the Aegis. He's ready for a second round. He's going to need his second round as he's going to be able to stay alive. He's actually at the fire. They've got the Graham Hunter Slayer. Skeeter survives. 33 diving in with the Astral Step to close the gap on a Blizzy. Blizzy pops the BKB. There's a pause because I think there's probably some broken keyboards, broken monitors, broken buildings on the Legacy side of things as this game is over. And wow, that is. I mean, couldn't get ready for game 2 after that sort of a losses. That was rough for them. You could feel it. We could feel it before those DCs came in, and when they did, that just sort of confirmed what we suspected. That was, these.